Miss America, here we go. Oh, hey guys, welcome to Michigan Crime Time. I am Jess, your hostess. That's the bestest, because I can't use mostest, that's dorky. Anyways, how was your week, you guys? I hope you can hear me all right. I have the studio set up a little bit better this week. I think I got a better camera angle at least. I don't know. Still got so far to go in the studio. Obviously, at this point, it's just space. I'm going to try not to say and we're trying to not use any curse words because, well, girl already gets demonetized. Actually, you know what? I need to make sure I go and make this video. Now, where did I put my phone? That's the bigger question. It's right here. Waiting for it to get angry with me. You guys may hear it going off. I've been having some issues with my blood sugar today, so you may hear some beeping, and that's all it is. I'm all right. I'm sitting on the floor. We're good to go. I got the stuffs. Also, I do have an update from last week of we watched it was Frickin' Media is who we watched. Apparently he's local to me. He's from the Lansing area, he says. So yeah, that's cool. Why are we not showing this one? Oh. Huh. I'm learning. And I am wearing my glasses today because I actually do have to do some reading for you guys, which I should probably open up my iPad. Let's see. Oh, I got so much going on. I don't need that. I don't know if I got that transferred over. I didn't yet. You guys. Okay. Let's start with an update. We know a couple weeks ago, Chili got arrested in Las Vegas, and he was bonded out. And I'm not sure if it was an RO or a PO, like personal recognizance PR bond, or if someone had to pay like a bond company. I don't know the details of that. That I don't have those records. But I do have an update. He does have to stay in Las Vegas, and my friend Alex from our Nevada Judges, right? I told him about Chili getting arrested in Las Vegas, so he immediately jumped in on the case, looking to see what he could find out, and he has made a media request for electronic coverage for his hearing in Justice Court. He has he has marked it. Let me read this for you guys. He sent me the motion. That was our Nevada Judges, which is a media organization, hereby request permission to begin live usage. I hereby acknowledge that Section 8A of the Nevada Constitution, blah, 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 so specific protections of victims of crime, blah, 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 will make reasonable efforts, blah, 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 blah. And it's for pixelation. I further acknowledge that representatives of my media organization will comply with any specific restrictions that may be imposed by the judge prior to or during the court proceeding to be presented live. He is requesting recording, photographing, and other. It is due to public interest. Camera deployment will be in person. So that hearing is department number 6, June 13th of 2023, first thing in the morning. So, Alex filed that yesterday. So there's a media request in. So our Nevada Judges is on the case for Chili's arrest in Las Vegas. And that, like I said, that's in front of the Justice Court. Now, I have to ask Alex, I'm not quite sure how what exactly Justice Court is. I'm not sure if it's like misdemeanors or if it's like a felony Justice Court or just like for minor things, whatever. I'm not sure. This is awfully bright. I don't know, you guys. Crazy. I'm still trying to get to where I can make sure. Hopefully, maybe, possibly be monetized. So that is the first update that our Nevada Judges has requested for media to cover the case, then I have an update from the video from last week. As we know, Frickin' Media, I believe it was, is the one that said that there were probably microphones in the trees behind, like, the sheriff's department and all that stuff. Well, I, not necessarily a bootlicker, because I will call out bad cops left and right, I messaged the sheriff directly and asked him, because that's a possibility, you guys. I mean, it really is, but I didn't think so, just because it's such a small county, and honestly, there's more things that they can spend the money on, like the roads. I don't think they listen around the courthouse. Kind of a waste. And on the 23rd, so I sent the first message, hey, I'm watching a 1A auditor, and he was at the courthouse. He said the pine trees have mics. Please tell me they're in the pine cones. And he says, sorry, you must be wanting to talk to another person. So I responded, I was watching a video on YouTube of First Amendment auditors, and they were trying to say there were microphones in the trees up at the county complex. I think they were just lying for views or trying to be interesting because all of the deputies were awesome and didn't give them anything to escalate. His response, this is news to me. Is the guy doing something or what? He then continued on with, this may be the same guy who does filming around the county complex and other county sheriff's offices. He's looking for confrontation so he can film. Everybody is aware of this guy and or his group. And I said, yes, that's them. They call themselves First Amendment auditors. Not quite as stupid as the 2A auditors. Most of us in LawTube call them frauditors. I personally think sovereign citizens are more fun. It's cognitive dissonance at its finest. Now, that being said, before I get dogpiled by a bunch of auditors, you guys, I take exception to how you approach situations. When you start off calling people names, that's not okay. That's wrong. That's what I have a problem with. When you get right up in someone else's face, that's a problem. You're allowed to film what you can see from the sidewalk, right? That doesn't include putting your camera lens right up to the building, because that building is not public property. The bank windows, I don't think that's a gray area. I personally don't think touching it to cup in and see is allowed. I don't know. I'm not an attorney at all. And on that note, all comments are my opinions, and they're only my opinions, irregardless of what wording and verbiage I use. So everything that comes out my mouth is my opinion. And it might be my opinion based on research that I have done. It may be what I considered my learned opinion. It may be what I think is proper, or it could just be BS, because I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. And that's fine. And if I get any auditors that take exception to what I'm saying, I welcome you to come on my show. If we can have a respectful discussion without the name calling, without being rude, if you want to do that and explain to me more exactly what it is, what the rights are what constitutional rights are, how you think it applies, absolutely, I'd love to. I've been trying to, for about a year, get an auditor to really truly sit down and talk with me, other than Ironton Auditor. I love Terry. He does what I consider doing auditing right. He is not confrontational, hardly ever. He's very respectful. I think that goes a long way. Maybe not as exciting of content of getting into confrontations with people, but it's better overall. And you always constantly say is about educating the public. Well, You say it's time for an education, and then you leave. You don't explain to anybody what you're doing, why you're doing. You don't even say, I'm expressing a constitutional right. Or whatever, exercising a constitutional right. You don't say that. You're doing it for confrontation. I don't like that. I'm not a confrontational person. Anyways, my signal is apparently in and out today. Again, it's being weird. Okay. Sorry if I sing or hum today and it is not very pleasant to your ears. Oh, my nose is running again too. Gosh darn it, I've been so congested all day. Let's see here. Oh, it's the wrong playlist. Ah! Actually, you know what? Let's watch. This one's an older one. I did say I was gonna kind of do a little bit of a dive down into the archives. This one's like 9 months old.
I thought this lady was drunk.
Where'd it go?
It can be.
Hang on, guys. Gotta get my player right. Ah. Okay, here we go.
For cause case, People versus Monet Mudalabe.
Grace Hydorn on behalf of the people.
Ready, Judge. Torshio Feaster, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. Mudala Bay. Please unmute.
Can you guys hear that?
Record now.
Hi, it's Monet.
How are you? Can you hear the video or
Thank
not?
you, Judge. I have spoken to her as well as to the prosecutor's office.
Can you only hear it through my microphone?
There is an offer in this file for her to plead guilty to count 1 under the HIDA program with an agreement to alcohol testing, and count 2 will be
All right, hang on. Let me fix this. I got the microphone set up and I forgot to do sound. I'm awesome like that. Hey, the microphone's plugged in. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. I apologize if you did. Here we go.
For cause case, People versus Monet Mudalabe.
Grace Hydorn on behalf of the people.
Ready, Judge. Torshio Feaster, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. Mudala Bay. Please unmute and state your name for the record, ma'am.
Hi, it's Monet Medulla Bay.
Medulla Bay. Thank you, Judge. I have spoken to her as well as to the prosecutor's office. My understanding is there is an offer in this file for her to plead guilty to count 1 under the HIDA program with an agreement to alcohol testing, and count 2 will be dismissed, Your Honor. She'd like to do that today.
I'm sorry, she wished you to do that?
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
All right, I do need you to turn on your camera if you would.
Yeah. I just woke up, guys, but
So it'll be a plea to count 1.
Yes, Judge.
yes.
Okay, and you said that's with alcohol screening,
Yes, Judge.
with alcohol testing or screening? I guess
Testing is what I received.
Testing, yes.
okay. So that has to be part of any sentence. All right. All right, got it. All right, ma'am, can you please raise your right hand? You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I agree.
All right, state your name for the record.
Monet Medulla Bay.
Put your hand
All right,
down.
you can put your hand down.
I wanted to.
All right, ma'am, it is this court's understanding that you're going to plead guilty to the charge of disorderly person driving. That is a misdemeanor punishable by the $90 or $500 fine plus court costs.
Can you repeat that last part, please?
Which last part?
Just the whole thing.
So it wasn't the last part. You need the whole thing repeated.
Yeah, I just want to be at this point. Say the whole thing. I want to be
Take the
sure.
towel off your ears and then you'll be good. That's the problem. Okay. Yeah, I know. Okay. So you're pleading guilty to the charge of disorderly person drunk. That is a
Yes.
misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail and or a $500 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Understanding all that, do you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
When you say that, you want me to just say what happened, right?
You have to
Well,
say, do you plead guilty?
Oh yes, I plead guilty for being drunk and
So,
disorderly and
yeah,
okay.
We
and being
think
a little.
she's. I was
gonna
told
ask you what
a more
happened. So hold on a second.
Moorish
Oh, okay.
opposite person.
As soon as
with
I
the last
advise you as
name
to what your
Bay.
rights are, you're pleading
Apparently
guilty.
that's
Is that
means
correct, ma'am?
whether
Yes.
that is
All right, now
legitimately
you
legally her
understand that by
last name
pleading
and
guilty,
she's
you'll
not,
not
I
have a trial
don't
of any
know.
kind.
But she's still
I
kind
won't
of
have a
funny. She's
trial?
in her bathrobe and has a towel on her head.
That's
I
what I
wish I could
said.
have gotten
You
a quote like
understand
that.
that?
That would have been great.
That's the case?
Mhm.
All right. Because you're not having a trial, you're giving up certain other rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than dismissal of count 2 to get you to plead guilty to this charge?
Yes, the first judge that I seen, she said she was going to give me a personal bond. I don't know if that was for the first time I
I
went to
mean, the
jail.
magistrate, you didn't see a judge, you saw a magistrate the first time.
Oh. Magistrate. That's what her name is?
Well, that's her title. That she was going to give you a personal bond?
Yes.
Well, that's what's currently set. Why do you want me to take that away and arrest you and then give you a personal bond?
No, I just was letting you know that's the only thing that I.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's been promised to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody threaten you or coerce you in any way to get you to plead to this charge?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes.
of your own free will
Yes.
and because you believe that you're guilty of this offense?
mean, what happens in the dark comes to light. So y'all are gonna see a video. So yes.
Ooh, what happens in the dark comes to light. That is
Okay. You're right about the first
Yeah,
part.
she
What
be
happens in
playing.
the darkness does come to
She be
light.
playing
But I'm
some
asking
games.
you a different question. You're pleading guilty because you believe that you're guilty of this offense
Of being disorderly.
and drunk.
I thought disorderly was drunk.
Sort of the same.
Can be.
Well, I know I was drunk and disorderly.
So you're pleading guilty to the charge of disorderly drunk because you
She be
believe
playing.
that you are
She
guilty
be
of that offense.
playing.
Yes.
Thank you. On the wrong one. On the date of April 3rd, 2022, at the location of 3135 Scenic Lake Drive, Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan. This ought to be fun. Man, what'd you do on that date that makes you think that you're guilty?
Well, I know that I don't normally drink, and I had like a premiere party because I just did a commercial. So we had some drinks, casual drinks, but I'm not like normally a drinker, so I drank them. I guess I was mixing brown and light. I don't know if you know that that's not a good combination, and so yeah, I was drunk.
Okay, so what happened?
I think I got into it with a family member, and that triggered me to be upset while I was under the influence. And I felt like no one was listening to me, so I wouldn't stop yelling. And so there
Oh,
was one
sorry,
officer
guys.
that was like hearing me out and just understanding like I had a lot going on. And then the other officers, I don't think they were understanding, or maybe I wasn't understanding that they were understanding. And
There
they
she
were
goes. She got it.
yelling. And so I was just still yelling with the officer. And
Okay, I get
Okay,
loud,
ma'am,
so I get
hold
that.
on. Let's
But yeah.
back up a second. Where were you when all of this was happening?
scenic drive outside.
You were outside.
Mhm.
Okay. And so while you were outside,
That is a
and you
problem.
admit you were
She said,
intoxicated.
"Catch me outside,"
Mhm.
and she was.
All right. And you were yelling at either police officers or other people, right?
But I'm
Is that
saying,
correct?
see, here's the thing.
Yes.
Like
Okay.
Hollywood, they
And
don't
were
care
you
what the
yelling
crap
loud
that
enough to
goes on
disturb
over
the peace
there,
and
out there,
repose
man.
of the area around you
They don't care about scandals.
and
Somewhat.
other people?
Freaking Lindsay Lohan
Somewhat.
still has a job.
Yes.
So does Britney Spears.
Okay, what do you mean somewhat?
Oh, Lord.
Loud enough, but I don't think I was
Hold on a
that
second.
loud.
You were loud enough to get arrested, right?
That wasn't why I wasn't. I don't think I.
Okay, to be fair, Mr. C will come up to me. He's like, quit yelling, and I'm like, I'm not yelling, and he's like, no, quit yelling, and I'm like, I'm not yelling or screaming or whatever. I get like super loud because what to me is like my voice raised just a little bit. To his only child background is extremely loud, and I come from a huge, loud Polish family on one side. Very, very mixed racially, multiracial, multi-religious family on the other side, and they're loud because it's a big family. So to me, like I honestly I can't tell how loud or quiet I am to other people because I don't hear the difference in my head, but I know by my throat whether or not I'm yelling. So I get what she's saying. She didn't know she was that loud. I get it because that would totally be me. That would be me for sure.
I think I was. The loudness was 100% the reason I was drunk. That was the reason. But I wouldn't not stop arguing with them. But my tone was loud.
So you were arguing with the police
Yes.
in public,
Yes.
and that caused at least their peace and repose to be disturbed, correct?
Yes.
And so and so you admit by doing all of that, you were being disorderly.
Bingo.
Yes.
Counsel, please say yes, but has the court complied with the court rule? Would
So
it be
apparently
proper to
Michigan
accept
is like
the defendant's
huge for
plea?
finding new up and coming people
Yes,
for
we are. I
the
believe
for
so.
Hollywood.
Satisfied.
So just so you know, I don't know. I have friends that are like actors and stuff. that do all
Sometimes
sorts of
it's like
crazy stuff.
picking flowers, other times it's like pulling teeth. Court will accept the defendant's plea of guilty to count one, count two is dismissed. Ma'am, I'm going to refer you to probation
Mhm.
for pre-sentence investigation and report.
Okay.
Now, there is going to be alcohol testing. Ma'am, you have said numerous times during your plea, because I'm considering doing
course he
something
is.
else, that you
This is Ben
don't
Simpson.
normally
This is
drink.
one of the reasons
Yes.
why we love him.
So this occurred in April of this year.
Yes.
So we are now in June.
Yes.
So for this entire year, how many times would you say that you consumed alcohol?
I don't know. I'd be prior to like a couple months before that, I was already in a program that basically was like a drug program that teaches people like,
And here's the
Um,
crux of the issue for her.
I don't know.
Go ahead. Go ahead. So,
I don't think I was drinking a lot before that incident. And I
I
normally
know.
don't.
Nobody ever does think they're drinking a lot. Listen, all I'm asking is from January 1st to today's date, how many times, other than this time, have you consumed alcohol?
Hmm,
Just ballpark it.
A guesstimate.
maybe 5 times. My birthday was January 23rd. I
Tori
turned
Show,
21.
thank you
please
for
share
sharing.
I had to take
higher
my
steam, and if
first
you catch
shot.
this, It's pronounced
I didn't-
Tortio. Feaster.
I did. Did I?
Feaster with an
ask
F
it
or
off
feast
of
or
the-
famine.
I just needed to know. her time.
Tortio.
Okay.
She just turned 21 in
How
January.
he says it,
Yeah.
at least to me.
That's why you had to have your first shot.
I mean, I didn't have to, but I'm saying
And
I was
then-
legal,
and then
so
by
everything was
April-
okay.
I mean, I
By
had my
April,
first drink
You were drinking and got arrested.
technically
Not a good track
before
record. That was less than 3
midnight. I
months.
was flying home from
So here's what we're
California.
gonna do.
Um,
I'm gonna refer to probation, but
Chip,
I'm also
when you're in
referring
the
to
air,
bonds for
it's international time, so it
we
might
can
only be
figure
3 o'clock in
out the
California.
level of
You're
testing.
allowed to drink if it's your 21st birthday.
Okay, so you got
Those
2 things you
Throws
have to do.
Heineken in a
You have
can.
to do
Never
an alcohol
again.
screening
Never
assessment,
again.
as well as you have to report to probation. Understood?
Yes. And if I have any questions on that
Yeah,
process, who do I
that's-
talk to?
Well,
Talk to
she's
your
already been in a
attorney,
program
please.
and she just
No,
turned 21.
not
That's
me.
what.
All right.
Okay.
So I didn't mean it that way, or maybe I did. Sentencing, July 13th, July 13th, 2022, 9 a.m. Bond.
That's when I have to do the testing.
No. That's when you got to come back and I impose sentence.
You have
What do
to
you
handle the testing before that. Call me and I will help you get everything
You're
set
gonna
up.
have to get an alcohol screening and assessment, and you got to talk to my probation department.
Okay.
Call me,
And
I'll
then
help you.
come back on the 7th or on July 13th, and then I'm going to give you your sentence.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
Bond will continue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah. All the other cases are ready to be recalled, of course. Everything is ready now. I have a feeling, though, just curious.
He has a feeling.
All of that stuff I just ordered is not going to happen. I'm just telling you. It's going to get here on July 13th. There's nothing going to be ready. And
He might be
I'm
right.
going to invite everybody back because we're going to hear a long story about why it didn't happen. Just saying. Yeah, you got to make feaster.
He ran away.
I'm here.
Do not put that case on Miss Cleveland. You need to come back and deal with that case yourself.
Okay, I'll be
Because
back
I think everything that just happened
It's my
and
fault.
the minutes in my life I don't get back are all your
It's
fault.
my fault, Judge.
Just saying.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. I take
Just-
sole responsibility.
Yeah, I know. And even if you don't, I'm holding you responsible.
Thank you, Judge. Sorry.
All right.
To understand the nature of the proceedings against you and assist in your defense. I've met you in the past. You're not cognitively challenged. You're an intelligent man.
Okay. I hit the wrong button. That's why. Okay. So, one of the main things that I wanted to talk about today, this was actually brought to my attention. I'd heard about it. I am probably really bad about, I don't really watch national news because it's a lot of blown out of proportion, hype, spin doctor stuff. So sometimes it leaves me out of the loop a little bit. But this one was, or this issue is huge. Now, I was told that I need to be calm because it's not going to be an issue. We are talking about the S686, which is the Senate and House. Well, there's the S686 is a Senate bill. There is also a bill in the House for the same thing. It is essentially expanding the power of the government to restrict basically everything based on the internet. It essentially makes VPNs illegal. You would get in trouble if you used any electronics that are like manufactured in foreign countries, like, or in like specific countries like China, which I have to say we're all in trouble because a lot of our electronic equipment comes from China. We don't make that here. You know, because it's China and Hong Kong. So there goes a large chunk of products that we use. It's crazy it's way bigger than I fully understand. I found this video last night, and I'm not gonna play the whole thing because it's a lot of stuff. Okay. I don't know if this channel or I can't see you guys. I don't know if this is technically considered like if they're liberal media or not. I honestly don't know if this. It's Democracy Now, so I'm not sure where it. Okay, that's why. Okay, so let's get into this. Like I said, this is from Democracy Now, and let's see.
This is Democracy Now, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. As a growing number of governments worldwide enact new limits on social media apps, we look now at bipartisan calls at home to ban one specific app here in the United States, the Chinese-owned TikTok.
I don't think it's just one app.
Congress members grilled TikTok CEO Shou Ji-chu during a 5-hour hearing on the app's ties to the Chinese government, data practices, and its effects on children's mental health. This is Democratic Florida Congressmember Darren Soto questioning Chu.
So, Mr. Chu, would TikTok be prepared to divest from ByteDance and Chinese Communist Party ties if the Department of Treasury instructed you all to do so?
Congressman, I said in my opening statement, I think we need to address the problem of privacy. I agree with you. I don't think ownership is the issue here. With a lot of respect, American social companies don't have a good track record with data privacy and user security. I mean, look at Facebook and Cambridge Analytica, just one example.
This comes as a bipartisan group of U.S. senators has introduced the Restrict Act, which stands for Restricting the Emergence of Security Threats That Risk Information Communications Technology Act, which would allow the federal government to potentially ban technology from countries the U.S. considers to be adversaries, including China. Meanwhile, Democratic Congressmember Jamal Bowman of New York has been a leading opponent of a TikTok ban.
So we're talking about free speech for everyday Americans. We're talking about small business owners who use TikTok to grow their business. And my question is, and we're going to pivot to the other part of the conversation, why the hysteria and the panic and the targeting of TikTok? As we know, Republicans in particular have been sounding the alarm, creating a red scare around China.
Congressman Bowman has been joined by New York Congressman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who laid out her concerns in a video she posted on TikTok after opening her first account on the app.
Usually when the United States is proposing a very major move that has something to do with significant risk to national security, one of the first things that happens is that Congress receives a classified briefing. And I can tell you that Congress has not received a classified briefing around the allegations of national security risks regarding TikTok. So why would we be proposing a ban regarding such a significant issue without being clued in on this at all? It just doesn't feel right to me.
For more, we're joined in New York by Julia Angwin, investigative journalist formerly with ProPublica, contributing opinion writer at the New York Times, where her latest guest essay is headlined, How to Fix the TikTok Problem. We last spoke to her in 2014 about her book, Dragnet Nation, a quest for privacy, security, and freedom in a world of relentless surveillance. Julia, welcome back to Democracy Now! It's great to have you with us. I mean, it was amazing to see this absolute bipartisan, almost consensus in the particular hearing that the CEO of TikTok was being questioned at, being grilled and demanding that TikTok be sold to a U.S. company in order for it to be saved. Talk about what Bowman said, what AOC has said, and what you think are the major concerns here.
Thank you so much for having me on. It's great to be here. And I have to say, it was amazing to watch Congress finally taking privacy seriously, but only for one app, right? So I have been writing about privacy issues. I published my book almost a decade ago, and people have been trying to get Congress to pass a federal privacy law that would protect our data on all of our apps and all of the different ways that we are mediated by technology. And we're one of the only Western nations that has not passed such a bill. And so now we have, of course, this frenzy around TikTok and this idea that they're the ones who we really need to be protected against. And the reality is there's really nothing that TikTok is accused of that the other social media platforms haven't done as well.
And isn't there also the issue of the question of governments being able to use these apps for their own ends? I would assume that anything that China can do, the Chinese government can do with TikTok, the U.S. government can do with the American social media apps that are spread around the world.
I mean, it's a really good point that all of these social media platforms
Honestly,
can
they
and have
probably
been
do, and they just
manipulated
don't
and
tell us. Actually,
censored
no, I
by
know they do.
governments, right? And so
I
most
absolutely
recently,
believe
the
that they
most
do.
recent example we've seen of this actually was that there's a Twitter employee who recently was just convicted of spying on Saudi dissidents on behalf of the Saudi government. And so he uses access as an employee in order to spy on Twitter users. And, you know, Google over the years has said that they have dismissed more than a dozen employees for misusing data about Google users. And so we've seen that this kind of thing can happen at all of the platforms. It's also true that you don't have to own a platform in order to misuse it, right? So in the 2016 election, we know that Facebook was basically used by Russian propagandists to spread misinformation. We know that Facebook's platform was used by the Myanmar government to spread lies and hate against the Rohingyas, which then led to a genocide. We know that Facebook's platform was used by people organizing the Capitol insurrection on January 6th, and that Facebook didn't stop that. And so we know these platforms can be misused. And there's no question that China could also, of course, try to misuse the TikTok platform. But what's interesting is that TikTok has proposed a plan that would wall off US data from China access. It basically has said to the government, we would store all of our data about US users at Oracle, a US company, and we would actually submit to oversight by the Treasury-led Committee on Foreign Investment in the US. So essentially that committee would be able to inspect their algorithm to see if they're promoting disinformation from China or any other state, and also would be able to inspect to make sure that the data about US people is not being transmitted back to China. That's a level of control and state control over an app that we haven't seen before, and also is way more oversight than any of the other social media platforms have been exposed to.
And I'm wondering the broader implications of Congress trying to ban TikTok, especially in view of the fact that the United States for the last 40, 50 years has been the main proponent of globalization, of breaking down barriers between countries and letting companies extend their reach and their trade. I'm wondering, for instance, the similar battle that happened over Huawei and 5G and the spread of 5G around the world with the United States, instead of welcoming greater intercourse between countries, was actually seeking to shut down the ability of a Chinese company to market of 5G technology around the world. What's this going
Yeah,
to
like
do
they're
to
not just trying
the
to
potential
separate
for
us
individual
as
countries
citizens and
now to
divide
begin
us and
to
trying to keep us
close their borders to
away from the
trade
rest
and
of the world,
commerce in the
which
digital age?
really is bad.
I mean, this is a really good point, right? So if we put the proposals on the table are A, to put TikTok under state control, to ban it, or to force a sale. All three of those things are things that I think the US government would really be mad about if some other country tried to do to one of our companies, right? Right now, already, if you think about the social media platforms and how they behave around the world, although we often like to be mad at them for various reasons, and we have lots of reasons to be mad often, the reality is that they're being asked in most countries to act as government censors, right? So like in India, there have been huge pressure on the tech platforms to do
Yeah,
censorship
that's
on behalf of the
a
government.
really bad
And some
thing.
of that censorship, the companies have argued, is illegal, right? And so they are actually out there fighting for their users to have free expression. And that's true in a lot of countries. These companies actually spend a lot of time fighting with the government
Please
to
don't. This
try
is the
to make
company out
sure
of
their
China
platforms can be a place where everyone has
who
a
has
voice.
separate
And
internet from the
so
entire world.
for the US to suddenly say, okay, we want to support freedom of expression around the world, right? We do that not only through our private companies, but through our foreign diplomacy and our USAID, et cetera. We now actually don't want it at home, right? We're going to actually basically censor TikTok here. It makes it really hard for us to justify supporting freedom of expression around the world.
So let me ask you about other parts of the Restrict Act, which is co-sponsored. I mean, all of this is bipartisan in a time when the Congress couldn't be more partisan. But I'm going after China on this. You've got Senator Thune and you've got Senator Warner and, of course, others that are co-sponsoring. So we know that that they want TikTok to be sold to a U.S. company. But can you talk about other aspects of Restrict Act? Is it true you could face $1 million fine if you access TikTok? And also, what does this say about restricting VPNs? And explain what they are.
Yeah, so the Restrict Act is basically this bipartisan bill that has come about because the White House apparently believes that they don't actually have the legal authority to ban TikTok. So they were floating this ban and then realized that they needed the legal authority. So this bill, as far as I understand it, is actually meant to give them that legal authority that they don't feel like they have right now. And so it empowers the Commerce Department to do some evaluations of different apps and to see what their risks are, and then to take different measures to counteract them, including a ban. And so I think that the fact that it's bipartisan supported is a sign of how united Congress is right now. I mean, I've never seen the Dems and Republicans on the same side so aggressively as on this particular issue. And it really is interesting because they're not united on privacy as a larger issue, right? Like the privacy bills have not moved, but this issue, which is more, I think, a China issue than a privacy issue, right? The reality is the reason they're united is because everyone sees political capital in uniting to fight against the China threat, right? Now, you asked me about VPNs. VPNs are virtual private networks. So basically, it's something you would put on your phone in order to route around your internet provider. It's often
wonderful.
used in places like China where the government is
Where you
censoring
can
internet
hide
traffic, and it's a way
basically
to
where
try to
your
circumvent
internet,
that
where you're at, your
censorship.
location.
And so it's interesting that you would think of restricting that
It's
when
great
in
if
fact
you have
that's something
soccer.
we tend to export to other nations in
And they
order
like
to
to stalk your
promote
videos
freedom of expression.
that you upload.
And could you talk a little about the difference in approach to dealing with social media and technology by the European Union versus what the kinds of legislation that Congress is considering?
Yeah, I mean, that's such a great question. The EU has been just years and years ahead of the United States in terms of taking the threats from these platforms seriously and addressing them thoughtfully. So, for instance, they passed a comprehensive privacy law back in 2018 that had laid out, basic standards for how data should be treated, what kind of rights users have over their data. And then this year, actually, new laws are coming into place to regulate the algorithms. So it's the first time that algorithms are going to be regulated. These
Wow.
social media companies that are above a certain size
That
will
might
have
not
to
be a bad
report
thing.
to the EU on
We need an
they have to
algorithm thing.
measure the risks that their algorithms are creating to things like teen mental health, the risks to
Oh.
democracy. These are really big and important questions that the companies have to answer.
Are
Then
they, though?
have to show how they're going to
Finding
mitigate
out
those
if there's a
risks.
risk
And
to
that is
democracy
something
because of
that is
social
a
media?
really creative way to try to approach
Are you
this issue
trying to
without censorship. So the
make
idea
sure
is the
and
EU is
censor
not
that no
saying
one
like
can
we've decided that this is a
learn
bad thing for democracy.
or
They're saying
think
you need to measure that
independently?
risk. It's on you to show how you're promoting democracy and how you're not allowing for authoritarianism. And so I think it's an interesting experiment, and the US hasn't done any of that, right? Like we are nowhere near regulating algorithms. We haven't set a basic privacy law, and the templates are out there. I will say this though, California has passed a really strong privacy law that basically emulates the
Utah
EU
did
law. And
a
so in
privacy law about
California, there is actually a
social
strong
media
privacy
and
law that
teens.
goes
I
into
didn't read.
effect
I just
this
saw a
year.
thing. I didn't
And so
read
we
it.
are finally catching up on the California level. But of course, Congress has been threatening to preempt that law with something weaker. So we may not actually get to keep that.
We only have about 30 seconds, Julia,
Okay.
but especially for young people. It is critical, especially for young people on mental health issues, the increase in suicide.
All right. So I want to look now at the actual text of S686. That is this here. On the banner on the bottom, that is actually the link where you can go to contact your congressman and your representatives or your senators, whatever, at federal level, and tell them what you think about this rule, this ban that they want to put into place. It's scary for me. I'll tell you that much. From what I'm hearing, I mean, all of our smart devices, we know they listen, right? We know Alexa listens. We know that like our laptop listens and our phone listens, because we talk about something completely unrelated to anything that's normal for us, and then we start seeing suggestions for that. So we know that they do listen. For me, it could potentially be problematic just because of sort of what I do search. I do research, been doing deep dives on some case histories and crime and, forensic stuff. So that could be seen as being subversive. Yeah. And then my history, when I was 18 and 19 and 20, when I was in school studying to be, EMT and paramedic, and then the police academy, I had to write papers on subjects like back then. That was, I started in 2000. So I was in EMS in 2001, September 11th. That was me. And when I went to paramedic school, I had to do a paper about a bunch of different, not like biological weapons. So that's going to get flagged right there. I had to write about, and it was what they were, where it came from, how it's made, how it's dispersed, and then, like what would be the response, the proper response, like basically create a whole scenario, and I have to walk through the whole scenario for a paper. But I had to write down the time I went on the website, that I started searching it, how long I was on each website, what exactly I searched and read, if I printed it off or not, if I saved it, if I copy pasted, all of that stuff. I had to log it in a notebook every time. And then we're told to keep a separate log that we logged just what our regular internet traffic was, because we were definitely going to be monitored. So yeah, that was after the Patriot Act, which I know the original Patriot Act is not in place anymore. They have redone it, and I'm not sure what they call it now. It's very similar to the original Patriot Act, and what it is essentially the government can listen in on your phone calls. They have like automated or robot things. They like it'll you say a certain word and it will trip like recording it, and they'll listen in. I actually used to make a game of it because it cracked me up, and it was like, I'm not doing anything. But certain words, I'd say, that's the bomb.com, like every 3 seconds, or, oh, it just blows it up. That's my mind blown up, stuff like that. And you used to be able to, on landlines, you literally could hear like a click or a series of clicks, and it was because it was either someone was actively listening or it was being recorded. I also am from an area that is very high on the list of targets because of the nature of we have GM here in Michigan, but also we have laboratories. We do have a level 4 biohazard laboratory. I don't know, not that far from me. I worked there for a while. So it's pretty high on the list. And also, I don't know if it's still in place. I don't remember how long it was good for, but at one point had a top secret clearance because I did work for the U.S. government. So I've been investigated by the FBI. I have an FBI file. It's all right. So they're going to watch me or whatever. But they're saying that there's concern about these foreign companies using our information, hacking our information. I'm sorry. My information, my personal information, has been hacked from the U.S. government secure server. Yeah. And that's not the only one. I mean, my information has been hacked from multiple hospitals, from Don Joy, which provides, air casts and those big gray boot walking cast things. Those are made by Don Joy. They do knee braces and stuff. My information was hacked from them. My information has been hacked from multiple places. So to sit here and say something like TikTok is dangerous, I don't think so. I mean, they're going to get our credit card information. And the woman, they were right. What they're worried about, the U.S. government can do right back. Although China doesn't use our internet or Facebook. They have their own version because they don't trust the outside world. But, yeah. So my husband thinks that I'm overreacting about it being listened to, because I was like, nope. If it goes into place, we are unplugging everything. Cell phones are not going to be, they're not just turned off, they're going to be outside. Or I'm going to make Faraday cages. Not joking. Because I don't trust the government anymore. I can't. You got my information hacked. I have to have monitoring on all of my information, my personal information, for the rest of my life because they got hacked. So yeah, no, I don't feel safe with the government listening. I have not done anything. Okay? If you think there's a reason to invade my life like that, then do it properly. Get warrants. But to have carte blanche ability to just listen in through smart thermometers and your modem and, your smart bulb, everyone, has like Alexa or Google or Ring doorbell cameras. They'll be able to just use that? No. No, siree, Bob, I am not okay with that. So, but that's essentially, that's what these two bills are looking to do. And did I initially agree with the Patriot Act? Absolutely. We had cells. September 11th never should have happened. We knew about it. The government knew. So they put the Patriot Act into place, and sure, it was supposed to be for 2 years. And I was like, yep, okay, let's find these. There's supposed to be more out there. Let's find them. Yeah. This is too much. And this is not just a Joe Biden thing. Okay. I believe there was a version of this when Trump was president, I think. Not necessarily written by him, but definitely during his presidency. This is something they've been trying to get past. I don't know how long, but now they're able to fearmonger. And you guys, Oh man, they're gonna come for me. What did we have flying over the country? What did we take, 7 days to shoot down as it flew over the entire United States? A Chinese spy balloon? A Chinese spy balloon? Okay, this is my opinion. This literally just hit me. And then we had other unidentified objects floating. Fear-mongering and hysteria. Right? And we know that that happened when Trump was in office too. We know that. And now all of a sudden, we're pushing for this TikTok ban, calling China a subversive country. Little too suspicious to me. And I am not a conspiracy theorist, you guys. I am not. I do not consider myself a conspiracy theorist. Hold on, let me put this one up here. It is my understanding if we have a VPN, if this goes through, then we are automatically guilty. Yep. And we'll be fined $1 million. And no, Trump was just a TikTok ban, not a total stripping of our rights. Yeah, it was I know it was different. I never read what was put out during Trump or what was proposed during Trump's era, but I can guarantee you that this has been going on for a while. I honestly think that our government itself, deep down in the government, is not divided, not politically divided. I almost feel like the government that we have now, our elected officials, as much as I respect them, it's sort of a puppet show for us. I really am truly starting to think that. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not a nut job like that. But I'm seriously questioning what the hell is going on. But the VPN thing, yes. So it's been, I've like I said, I was reading some last night, but I was watching a bunch of videos. And I'm not sure if VPNs are automatically a no-no. I pray to God not, because I use one. I have VPNs on everything. But I also have someone that, in my opinion, per Michigan law, is a stalker. I have people that straight up tell me where I've uploaded videos from and them questioning where I'm at. So people do follow what I'm doing as far as all that. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So it's been going on for a while. They try to make, they've been trying to make the Patriot Act stronger. And I don't think it happened. I honestly, I have to go and look. I've been trying to not pay attention because I've been dealing with so much stuff with my health for the last 15 years. You know, I try to limit external stressors as much as possible. But now I'm putting myself right in the middle of it. And the House passing it like this, no doubt, like, I don't even think they were this unified on the Patriot Act right after September 11th. I know it got passed, like it went right through, but I don't think they were even this united on that front. And that was huge if you're old enough to remember that. I know some of my younger viewers, I may have some, they probably don't remember because they weren't alive then, or they were young children. This whole thing bothers me. So I'm going to probably skim through this some. Let me know if you can hear me with the microphone. Trying to not put this in between here. I'll take it off the keyboard. You know what? Let me try this. You guys, I'm getting fancy as hell. Okay. Let's see. I made the mistake of pairing my Bluetooth mouse with my other laptop and my iPad, and now I can't get it to reconnect with my husband's laptop that I use for streaming. So I have to use the touch screen, and it's kind of annoying. I'm going to start here at section 1. Wait, can I? I don't know if it'll let me draw on this. I don't think I can. Oh, I need to figure that out. That'd be cool. Okay, so section 1 here is, this is Secretary of Commerce. It's to review and prohibit certain transactions between persons in the United States and foreign adversaries and for other purposes. The vagueness of this, hold on, I need a bigger screen. You haven't been able to find it? If you Google, or you just type in S.686, it will actually take you to Congress, to the website, and then you can click on the text version of it, and that's what's up on the screen. I'm a recluse too, for the most part. I actually did a lot of adulting yesterday and went to the library in order to do some research for a video I'm actually uploading right at this moment. So I had to go to a more professional setting. And okay, so I don't have a problem with the original Patriot Act. It was supposed to be for a limited time, and they have changed it slightly over the years. I mean, honestly, with that, listening in, go ahead, listen. Don't waste your time listening to my bullshit, because I'm going to say words just to trigger it because I think it's funny sometimes. I was also in my 20s, and so I was being a jerk. So I try to use trigger words all the time. If you still use a landline now, you can hear the clicks. I have not really heard it on a cell phone unless I'm calling a landline. I mean, the problem I have with this is it's not just listening to phone calls when you place phone calls. It's them utilizing microphones and video cameras in your existing technology in your house, if it's connected. So listening through your Echo Alexa, even if you're not using it, if it's plugged in, they can use it. They can use the webcam on your laptop if you have your screen open, even if you're not sitting at your desk. They can use your smart remotes that, you talk into your remote and it'll pull up the show or whatever. They can use that to listen to you. We know they do that with our laptops. We know they do that with our phones, because you can talk about something completely unrelated to everything you've ever done, and all of a sudden you start getting suggestions, or you go to Google it and you start typing and it's the first or second thing that pops up. So we already know that our devices are listening, and that's what makes them smart devices. But I have an issue with the government having carte blanche to listen in, because it's my home. I need to draw a line with privacy. If you have reason to suspect that I'm doing something, then get a warrant and then listen in. Okay, you got to have cause. Just to listen in is no. I have read too many dystopian books, and that's how it starts. That is literally one of the ways that it starts. At this point, Patriot Act is... Yeah, Alexa listens a lot. Even when, she'll respond, even if we're not saying anything and we're quiet. It's hilarious. And then I'll be yelling at her and she doesn't respond. She's annoying. My husband unplugs the Echo in our kitchen, dining room, living room was an open area, and he unplugs Alexa all the time, which is annoying because I'll be going to do dishes or clean and I need music, and I'm like, Alexa, and I look and she's unplugged. So, but yeah, Alexa does some weird things. I'm surprised she was going off earlier and I didn't even say her name. It was hilarious. But yeah, I just don't want them listening, using that it's in our house. It's made us vulnerable. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. So I don't like the fact that it says there for other purposes. Be specific. If you're going to do something this invasive, be extremely specific, not this broadness. So this act may be cited as the Restricting the Emergence of Security Threats That Risk Information and Communications Technology Act, or the Restrict Act. If I start to my words or whatever, I've got cotton mouth, but if I start to stumble over words, it's my blood sugar. Just so you know, I have a CGM, so it's being monitored. I just need to eat something or whatever. My sugar is being really weird today. Like, I thought I might have had to go to the ER, but I've gotten it back under somewhat of control. The things I do for you guys. I really didn't want to go to the hospital, though. So we're going to go... Let's see. But yeah, if you look at, I don't know if you can see it, it's literally congress.gov. That's exactly where I'm at on the Congress website. So this Section 2.1, this classified national security information is information that has been determined pursuant to executive order, blah, blah, blah. It's relating to classified national security information or any predecessor or successor order to require protection against unauthorized disclosure and is marked to indicate such classified status if in documentary form. So I'm going to say this, that if you work for the government, you already know they pay really super close attention to you. This is going to leave you completely open so that you are not disseminating any of that information that you had that's classified or top secret like I had, and I had to be careful about it. I couldn't, and I didn't have smart devices back then. But I know I could go to prison for a long time. So, so the covered holding, it's for an adversary, an entity subject to the jurisdiction, blah, blah, blah. A lot of this is kind of not even legalese to me. It just makes no sense. I am not the most up on all of this verbal diarrhea that they use. Or not verbal. Wordage diarrhea. So the critical infrastructure, the entity is any of the following. A firm, a government agency, government department, or government commission. A labor union, fraternal order, or social organization. See, this is not just like, say, the Freemasons or the Knights of Columbus or Kiwanis Club. This literally is anything. You have a social club in high school? That counts. So that's not cool. I'm not okay with that. A partnership. And I don't know, I'm assuming it's like a business partnership. But then again, a partnership can be an intimate partnership, and it doesn't separate that out. A trust, a joint venture, a corporation, a group, subgroup, or other association or organization, whether or not the organized for profit. So literally any group. I belong to a group of ladies that does fiber arts and spinning. We could be monitored because we're a group, we're a social club. We get together once a month and we sit down and we spin yarn and talk fiber and catch up on each other's lives. That could all be monitored. And that's dumb. Why are we wasting time on that, okay? We're sitting in a church gymnasium. I highly doubt things are going to get a little crazy. I mean, I might be struck by lightning for being in a church building, but that's about the most dangerous thing that would happen. So the foreign adversary, this is what is really weird, that they are very, very specific. The People's Republic of China, including the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region and the Macau Special Administrative Region. And I don't know what the Macau region is, but Hong Kong is special. If you guys are aware, it's sort of its own country, but it's not. It's sort of China as well. It's very weird. They've been separated. The Republic of Cuba. Well, I have to say this, however many years ago it was now, 6 years ago, right before Oh my gosh. Barack Obama was finished his term in office. He opened up communication with Cuba. I don't know necessarily for trade, but for tourism. And that was beneficial for both nations. I mean, you might think, why is opening communication with a communist country like Cuba beneficial for our country? First of all, we have a big base there. Make things a little bit easier for those service members that are at Gitmo. Secondly, we have a lot of Cuban refugees here, and it would make it easier for them to have communication with family members that didn't come. That would be great for morale. That actually looks really good for our country, to not completely shut them off. I don't know, aside from Cuba's other political associations, I'm not sure what kind of a threat. I'm not sure what kind of a threat Cuba is, other than that they're close to Florida and they have associations with other communist countries. Yes, I am careful with the sugar. I actually don't drink. I drink Coke Zero, just so you know, so it's not sugar. I've been steady. I also have another. I don't want really like to get personal on this channel. I have what's called gastroparesis. So like my stomach isn't digesting food, so it just sits there, and so my blood sugar stays literally the same, but I can't really eat anything. But once my food starts to move and then I start absorbing food, then my blood sugar can spike, and that's what happened today. That's what happened earlier, is all of a sudden my stomach was like, oh, we're going to start working and digesting and moving food down through the stomach. Like, literally, my abdomen hurts because it's moving food. So, that's all. It wasn't me eating sugar, trust me. And then your other comment was, it's a backdoor into taking away all. Yes. Absolutely. This is definitely a backdoor way for them to sneak in and really take away rights. If you guys thought overturning Roe v. Wade for body autonomy for women was bad, having the government be able to say what medical procedures a woman can receive, not leaving the doctoring to the doctors. Imagine they literally can listen into your house through any smart device. You have a smart thermostat, they're going to listen. You have a smart plug in your wall, they're going to listen. You have smart light bulbs. My entire bedroom is all hooked up on smart plugs, and we have smart bulbs in there. We took the smart plug out of the living room just because it bothered my husband, so I took it out. He's a little bit more mindful of stuff like that, whereas I'm looking at the convenience of it. But yeah, that would all have to come out. I would not have any smart bulbs. I would not have any electronic devices. I literally would unplug like power strips at night. I would not be able to read my Kindle at night. I have a Kindle Paperwhite. I would not have that. I would remove. I would not. Yeah, it's scary. It is literally what this could potentially allow them to do is terrifying. And I don't care what side of the political aisle you are on, you need to be scared. You need to be paying attention, and you need to wake the frog up. Okay? It doesn't matter liberal or conservative, Democrat or Republican, Trump fan, hardcore Joe Biden fan, alt-right, alt-left. It doesn't matter. We need to stop and wake up and pay attention to what the hell is going on right now with our government, what they are trying to do. We need to wake up. Bottom line. And I'm mad at myself for not paying attention as closely, because I didn't know about this, although it just sort of came out yesterday. But I found out because, you know, a good friend of mine sent me a text message. She's like, girl, did you see this? And I'm like, no, you know, I don't really pay attention to the news because you can't really trust what anybody says anymore. Which is why I consider myself independent media. I do my own research, and that's what I was doing on this. And yes, Cuba's threat is their ties to Russia. And that has been the threat the whole time. If you remember, if you were alive then, or what you potentially learned in history about the Bay of Pigs, was Russia was coming in to use Cuba as a station to put missile silos, or, have their boat. That, they already tried that once. So yes, that is why we have blacklisted Cuba in the past. Right now, obviously, with the way tensions are between Russia and the U.S., it definitely is a thing again. You have conversations with your dog. Sabrina's going to get mad because I'm going to wake her up. This is Luna. She's sleepy, guys. Sorry. I not just have conversations with my dogs. I respond for them. Luna's like, Mom, put me down. I was sleeping. I was cuddled. I don't want you. This is your thing, not mine. Right, girl? Yeah, I'll put you down. Did you need? No, your Fritz is like, don't you touch me, bish. I will lick you to death or something. But yeah, I would have to definitely be more mindful of things I said in my house. So you're not like, do you not vote at all? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying we weren't paying attention because it wasn't going to be put to the vote to the people? And yes, she is. I love her. She's stinky, but I love her. If you look me up on my personal Facebook, there's pictures of her. Instagram, she's all over that. I actually do have a TikTok. It's under Jess Karras. I hadn't used it in a while, but it was mostly dogs, mostly Luna. She had a huge fan base. So I called it was her during public, and Luna would be heartbroken that she no longer would have access to her during public. So yeah, so we have Cuba, the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, which is North Korea, the Russian Federation, and this one is where it's more specific and it kind of cracks me up. The Bolivian Bolivarian, I don't even know what that means. Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, under the regime of Nicolas Maduro Moros. Oddly specific. But then the holding, it's an equity interest stock security share partnership, blah, 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 blah. So it's literally anything that these foreign countries, businesses in these countries control. They own, obviously they own, control, manages information and communication technologies, products or services from these countries. We have to keep in mind, 99.9% of our stuff that we buy as consumers is from China, including our electronics. So it's literally making all of our electronics illegal. Apple? Oh, most of your stuff's where'd it go? Oh man, because I had it out. Now where'd I put it? You'd think I would pay attention. Pay better attention to a $200 there. My Apple Pencil, I don't know if it can listen. I don't know, it's like $200. It's made in China. I know for a fact my microphone was made in China. Couldn't use that anymore. My iPad, I'm pretty dang sure it was made in China. Couldn't use that anymore. It's very broad, and I am not comfortable with that. And then it was, the has not less than 1 million US-based annual active users at any point during the year period preceding the day on which the covered holding is referred to the president, or which more than 1 million units have been sold to persons in the United States before the day on which the covered holding is referred to the president. So Yeah, they can be like, oh, Apple phones are all made there, even though it's owned by an American company. They're still made over there. Wow. We can take them all. We can listen. We can use them whatever way we want. That's wrong. They're going to find out, though, if they start, like, hacking people's phones, I have a feeling we're going to have a lot more issues that have to do with sexual offenses. I have a feeling that's going to happen, or we're just going to find out that 99.9% of the American population is dirty. Got dirty minds. We are filthy animals. So, yes, it's all those committees. So this is what, so in general, the secretary, in conclusion, let me get to that so I can read it here, it's better. In general, the secretary, in consultation with the relevant executive department and the agency heads, is authorized to and shall take action to identify, deter, disrupt, prevent, prohibit, investigate, or otherwise mitigate, including by negotiating, entering into, or imposing and enforcing any mitigation measure to address any risk arising from any covered transaction by any person or with respect to any property subject to the jurisdiction of the United States that the Secretary determines poses an undue or unacceptable risk of sabotage or subversion of the design, integrity, manufacturing, production, distribution, installation, operation, or maintenance of information and communications technology products and services in the United States. Well, anything can be hacked and used and manipulated. We know that. We absolutely know that. It happens every day. Every single day, our stuff is getting hacked, including the government mainframes, okay? Their server farms get hacked daily. In my opinion, allegedly, that's my understanding. So, my opinion only, I feel that way. Catastrophic effects on the security or resilience of the critical infrastructure or digital economy of the United States. First of all, why is our economy all digital? Wait, he's talking about digital goods. Not actually, I don't know. Need to go back to paper money and writing things down on paper, I guess. Interfering in or altering the result or reported result of a federal election as determined in coordination with the Attorney General and the Director of National Intelligence, the Secretary of Treasury, and the Federal Election Commission. I'm okay with that one. Putting in some sort of a safeguard for hacking that stuff, because that's pretty bad. You know, that's a critical thing in our country. Coercive or criminal activities by a foreign adversary that are designed to undermine democratic processes and institutions or steer policy and regulatory decisions in favor of the strategic objectives of a foreign adversary to the detriment of the national security of the United States, as determined in coordination with the Attorney General and the Director of National Intelligence, the Secretary of Treasury, and the Federal Election Commission, which that is more specific to sort of the stuff that has happened in the last however many years with election like I said, I have to go back and look up. Sorry, my mouth's getting dry. Where things stand with what was originally the Patriot Act, because that did actually allow for that. To monitor that stuff. That was a big deal. Part of the reason why when I was looking up, doing research for papers, I had to write down a log of every website that I went to, even if it was outside of personal, every time I go to AOL or whatever, I'd write that down, what time it was, what time I got off, what I did, was in a chat room, whatever. Just because they were also monitoring it, they're monitoring me because of what I was researching for school. So they otherwise pose as an undue or unacceptable risk to the national security of the United States or the safety of United States persons. Okay, I'm cool with that, but not in this form at all. So, within 180 days, they have to review everything. It just makes everything so quick, I think. So they have 180 days, to discover and investigate if they think that something poses an undue or an unacceptable risk and qualified as covered transaction, to determine whether the covered transaction should be prohibited or any other action should be taken to mitigate the effects of the covered transaction. My question with that is, you're investigating someone for something that possibly could be wrong. You have 180 days. What are you doing with that person for that 180 days? Because sure as hell that they're going to take you into custody. So you're going to sit in jail for 180 days? Is that what's going to happen? I have a feeling that this can literally limit some of our constitutional rights when it comes to the criminal justice system, and I'm not okay with that. They've already recently changed Miranda, how they do Miranda warnings. If you didn't know, you should know that the police are allowed to legally allowed to lie to you if they're questioning you. They don't have to be truthful with you if they're talking to you as a person of interest in a crime. So when it comes to that, when you're talking about some sort of criminal activity with police, just keep that in mind. They're allowed to lie to you. Don't trust what they say. They might say, oh, trust me, I'm not trying to lead you astray. Don't. It's dangerous. That can be dangerous. And like you said, I'm not anti-cop. I'm not necessarily pro-cop, but I am pro-truth. And that's a big one. I don't like that they are allowed to lie to you. I think we're probably, even in the UK, the cops aren't allowed to lie to suspects or persons of interest. They're not allowed to lie in order to coerce some sort of confession. That's wrong tactics. Let me see here. So this is the language that we were talking about. Sorry, I was... So yes, we're not being voted by the people, and that is a problem. So, I mean, yeah, the majority of the people don't have anything to do with those countries other than, I was on Twitter for a short little time, and I became friends with a chick that was in Russia, that lived in Russia. I don't know where she is anymore. I have no idea. I have no contact with her. I haven't in probably a decade. So, I mean, that would be, the only connection. Otherwise, I don't have any connection with, Russia, and I don't think most people do. You're correct. Yeah, and then they're sent here to buy stuff or resell stuff to them, and we don't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we don't have any electronics made here. They're working on building a battery plant or 2 battery plants for electric vehicles near us. So, that's bad and good because it's very toxic and dangerous and a lot of pollution, but that sort of technology here. And so part of it, when I was in paramedic school and then when I was doing all of my other college, I would have to write papers, and I was doing research in paramedic school looking at, because there was the whole anthrax. They were having anthrax scares that were being mailed to, people. It was mostly people that were in the government, but it was also happening to other people. So I was having to research the effects of it, how to counteract it, what you would do to treat it if we had a mass casualty incident that involved it. So it was school related, but it was done at home because back then there might have been maybe 2 computers in the classroom. This was back in the early 2000s where the computers, you didn't have laptops. So it was done at home. So technically work related, but it was for school. And I, to this day, research. If they were to go based on what I research, man, I could be listed as on the watch list to be America's next big serial killer. Because that's what I listen to, that's what I read. True crime stuff all over the place, and then I'll read a story and I'm like, that doesn't sound plausible that what they did. So then I do my own research into it. So my search histories are a little scary. And it's just because I'm a nerd and I like to learn. And I'm like, is that actually true? Oh my gosh, yeah, you really can do that. Okay. Stuff like that. That's what I look into. I'm a lifelong education person, essentially. Yeah. And cops are basically allowed to lie to you about anything. They can't lie about letting you go, but they aren't also required to tell the blunt truth about it and be completely honest. So they can say, well, you just want to go home. If we do this, then, because you just want to go home. Not actually saying they're gonna go home. Well, you can go home tonight. That's what you want, right? There's ways to pose the questions. I also did go through the police academy. So unfortunately I do know these things. And technically, yeah, they can't lie to you about getting you a better sentence or a better deal, but they'll make it sound like they can. Honestly, in all reality, police have absolutely no say in any sort of a plea deal or sentencing. In fact, the prosecuting attorneys, what plea deal they negotiate for you, that's a recommendation. The judges do not have to sentence you to what you agreed to. If the judge doesn't do what was agreed, giving you the agreed upon sentence, you are allowed to withdraw the plea, but most of the time people take it anyways because it's just easier to get through it. I am not sure about a lawsuit filed with the Supreme Court. Honestly, I am not all that up to date on the legal whatever, because there's the three branches of the government: executive, legislative, and whatever is for the law. I am woefully, not that I didn't learn. It is not that I didn't know. But from my brain injury, I don't remember a lot of stuff, which is why my search engine history is really scary, because I'll keep looking something up because I forgot that I read it and I'm like, wait, what was that? Was that true? And that's just brain injury. So I don't remember. I think they possibly could. Whether or not it would actually be effective is a completely different story. We have to remember what our Supreme Court looks like right now. And it's not too favorable for the people at all, unfortunately. I sadly do not have a lot of trust in the government at this moment. Things have not been going well for a while, and it's not okay. I don't want to get an electric car, but I kind of want to get in an electric car just because I don't have to pay for gas. My husband works at a Ford dealership, so we get pretty good pricing. Both of our cars are older. My car, I just got it back on Friday, and it was in the shop for 2 weeks, and I had it for a week, and it had been in the shop for 2 or 3 weeks. It's been in and out of the shop. Finally, we're pretty sure we've gotten it all taken care of. It was a bunch of little things and then one big huge thing, and it was very expensive. My car does run better. Still need an O2 sensor and a muffler. But right now we need to breathe because we've just dumped several $1,000s into my car. So it may end up becoming better. I don't know. I'm on the fence about electric vehicles. I am. Thank you, Last Chance. That's it. I want to know, so I look it up. I do, absolutely. Possibly. Very possibly. My father is a retired master electrician, and him and I actually talked about that. It was before Tesla actually released their first car, so it's been a while, but he reads stuff like that because he also had gone to college to be an electrical engineer. He was literally shy one class to be an electrical engineer, and we moved up to Michigan, where he was originally from, after my sister was born. So he didn't get his degree in electrical engineering, but he did become a master electrician. So that is his forte, and he said it's actually not that bad, but that was 14 years ago now? Yeah. Almost 15 years ago. So things are very different as far as that. All right. Where were we before I went off on my tangent? Oh, the language. We were talking about the language for our electronic devices, and this is what I wanted to come back to so I could talk and see your comments here. The considerations are priority information. Oh, one of the other big things is what can happen is the president can basically make a foreign company sell the business. So like TikTok, they can force TikTok to divest all their holdings in that company to an American company. That's not cool either. Like as much as I don't want to do business with China, the fact that they're trying to make it so that we can literally be a dictator in that fashion, I'm not comfortable with that. We need to stop being the world police. I know we're a part of NATO, but still, we need to stop. We need to fix our problems here at home. And being able to strip foreign companies of ownership, that's gonna cause war. And, the saying is, they said it was World War II, I think it was a Japanese military officer or whatever said, the reason why nobody's invaded the United States is there's essentially a gun behind every blade of grass. While true, we now have ICBM missiles that can reach us. They don't have to be here. They don't have to be knocking at our door. They can do it from the comfort of their own home. So kicking that hornet's nest is not a good idea, because we are no longer safe over here just because we're all yahoos and armed to the teeth. It's here's your sign. Here is your sign. It's not a good idea. So they tried to make TikTok sell. That's been the big threat, is they weren't going to be able to do business in the United States. But if we are able to force a foreign company to sell ownership just to do business, I mean, yeah. What would you rather than having the bill passed? Sorry, I was talking and not paying attention. So that's the really scary part, is that the U.S. can force other countries to give up ownership of companies that are not even based in the United States. It would be one thing if a U.S.-based company was owned by a foreign agency. Okay? Say Apple was bought out and owned by a Chinese company. I can see where trying to make them sell it back could be seen as good, not just be seen, but could really be a good thing. Yeah, I don't know. Forcing to sell TikTok, please. I mean, TikTok is you know what? Why don't we make our own? They're so dang worried about it. Make our own TikTok. I mean, come on. We have multiple other platforms. We have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have YouTube, we have Bumble or Rumble, we have so many of them. Like, really, it's one that they're supposedly worried about, but I'm sorry, it's not just about TikTok. I mean, but like I said, if they were trying to force a company that was bought out by a foreign company, I could see where there would be, based on what, kind of, depending on how it would happen, I mean, I would be supportive of that as well, other than just trying to buy it out for money, and not forcing them to buy it out or sell out. The non-delegable authority, I think I said that right, so you can't delegate it. The authority to compel divestment of a covered holding under paragraph 1 may only be exercised by the president and may not be delegated to any other individual except as described in paragraph 4. That is giving that person a hell of a lot of power that I am not comfortable with. The president being essentially the only one or someone he appoints to do so has that word and it has to be done. That's a dictatorship. I'm not comfortable with that at all. I'm sorry. The president is supposed to kind of oversee and run the circus, and the president was never meant to have sole authority in this democratic republic. That is why there are the 3 branches of government, because not one branch is supposed to trump the other. That was the basis of the founding of our nation. This line right here, to me, in my opinion, completely undoes that. And I am not okay with that. I am not okay with that. I don't know if it's him or not specifically. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on right now. I'm not comfortable with the government. I sure as hell don't want Trump in power. But to be fair, I have never, ever, 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 ever liked Trump. My mom is from New York City. So I grew up hearing about all the issues with him. So it is nothing because Hillary didn't win. I didn't vote for Hillary either. So, Trump scares me more than Biden, but what scares me about Biden is the players in the background. What the hell is going on? This is, I don't know. It's scary. I can tell you that much. I'm scared, and my husband tells me, oh, it's not going to be bad. Okay. Sorry, I come from a childhood of severe trauma, so I literally plan for the worst, hope for the best, and honestly, if it's something down the middle, then we're doing okay. So I always have to look at worst case scenario. It is a trauma response. That's why I have complex PTSD. Gentlemen, you know what? You can take your drama and shove it. I'm joking. How you doing, dude? This is drama, actually, and it's very scary drama right now in the United States. If you've been listening to what they're trying to do, they can listen in for anything, and that's not what our country is based upon. Get ready. Wait, do I have to? Do we have to have words about this, mister? Aren't you in rehab? Like, you had surgery on, like, I don't know, like a knee, or you had knee pressure or something? Shouldn't you be worried about that? Nah, just kidding. No, he's not great. He's a great big pompous ass, the 9 hat. let's see, what was this one? Sorry. Yeah. I don't want either one running at this point either. And no, we don't really get a choice. That's not how our system works. And it's like the Electoral College needs to go away, first of all. But I guess that makes me an extreme liberal. Extremely liberal if I say I want to do away with the Electoral College. But this is what is happening right now is a perfect example of why the Electoral College is not good anymore. And so they've sort of been doing this for years. You're referring to what was originally called the Patriot Act, and that actually had to do with them listening in and recording phone conversations and like intercepting emails and stuff like that. What this is going to allow them to do is actually listen in on the devices in your home. So you have a smart TV, you have a smart remote, Alexa, whatever, all that stuff, they're going to be able to literally listen in on anything, anytime, for no reason. They just have to say that there's cause. They don't even have to, like, give it up. My thing is I know you're Irish, Dearman. Seriously? I know that. Sorry, I don't have my Irish Demon merch on today, but I am aware of where you're from. And you had back surgery. What did you have done? Because I just had my lumbar spine fused last August. And I think it's going to rain because my back's hurting me. Yeah, I do want someone that's younger and a little bit more. We need Gen X needs to rise up and step up. Seriously. Our generation needs to, like, I think this might be a good thing for my generation to come forward and be like, whoa, wait a minute, no, we're the generation of F you and slacker do nothing. And Dearmed is being...
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
Shut up, Siri. There you go. She was listening. My watch was listening. And she responded. Dearmed is just being an asinine hat because he can. Yeah, honestly, I think what's happening is everything that's going on is it's either people are being extremely polarized or we're coming together in the middle. I was never registered with a political party. I always have been one that voted for a candidate, and I would do my research into each candidate for what they were doing, and that's how I voted, but unfortunately, I did end up going conservative Democrat, but still a Democrat for the most part, and I'm rescinding that at this moment. You do live on an island, Dearmed. That means you can't exactly run. What are you gonna do? You gonna drive north so the IRA can get you? I mean, I just hope you're not Catholic. Let's see here. This is the crux of the issue. You're correct. They do only ask. It's called CYA. Cover your asinine hat. And not DeSantis. No. Please. Dearmed. Uh-oh. Yes. Yeah. It is time. My mom is a young boomer, and she just officially hit retirement age this year and got her ability to collect on her Social Security retirement. So, you're right. Boomers need to step down. That's what you say. You say that. I don't know. DeSantis still wants too much regulation and regulation on what people can do and say, and that's what I have a problem with. I'm more libertarian, I guess you would say. I don't know what the term is anymore. Yeah. Huh. He can stay the F in Florida. I don't want him up here. I'll take Gretchen Whitmer. I like her. She's actually was an attorney here. Sorry. That was probably a loud bump. She was, if you don't know, I'm working on a documentary about the dentist that I had as a child that was convicted of 15 counts of criminal sexual contact with a minor, a boy from 5 to 10 years of age. I'm friends with the guy now. He was convicted of that and child abuse, and was sentenced to prison and got it overturned on a technicality because there was apparently impropriety in the prosecutor's office of some sort, and I'm not exactly sure. That's a whole different issue. That corruption in Ingham County and here in Michigan. That was why I focus on Michigan and Michigan courts. The dentist got his conviction overturned on appeal. He was let out. Then he was given a sweetheart deal by the prosecuting attorney. Pled no contest to one count of child abuse. No further prison sentence. Not on the registry. And he's labeled a sadist. But wait, there's more. The prosecuting attorney shortly later, or somewhat after, he'd been under investigation by the FBI for like 3 years, ended up pleading guilty to human sex trafficking. The prosecutor that gave a child rapist a sweetheart deal of no more prison time other than the 3 years he did. Not a registered offender, a free man. And he had hundreds, if not thousands, of patients that he may not have diddled all of us, but he certainly abused and tortured us. It's why my teeth, why I have not taken the best care of my teeth, is literally the PTSD from him. But when the prosecuting attorney took his plea deal, he was out of office. So Gretchen Whitmer actually stepped in and became the prosecuting attorney, and she started cleaning up house a little bit. I do like her. I've also stood on the lawn of the Capitol next to her screaming vagina when someone got kicked out of the House for saying vagina when they were talking about women's reproductive health. Because they were told the word vagina is vulgar and it's an anatomical term. Thank you very much. And that's... Who? Gretchen Whitmer. That woman from Michigan. Gretchen Whitmer. I like her. She wants to fix the damn roads, too. Well, she's actually, it's going on right now. It's annoying, but it's happening. It's all done. Oh, for the troubles being over, I guess. I don't know. I've heard there's been some flare-ups every once in a while, but I don't know. Let me get back to this. So this is the more troubling part. Oh, where did we go? Sorry, I scrolled away. So the considerations: proprietary information and communications technology areas and carrying out sections 3 and 4, blah, 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 blah. They prioritize the evaluation of information and communications technology products or services used by a party to a covered transaction in a sector designated as critical infrastructure and policy directive 21, blah, 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 blah. So software, hardware, or any other product or service integral to telecommunications products and services, including local wireless local area networks, mobile networks, satellite payloads, satellite operations and control, cable access points, wireline access points, core networking systems, long, short, and backhaul networks, or edge computer platforms, any software, hardware, or any other product or service integral to data hosting or computing service that uses processes or retains or is expected to use, process, or retain sensitive personal data with respect to greater than 1 million persons in the United States at any point during the year period preceding the date on which the covered transaction is referred to the secretary for review, or the secretary initiates review of the covered transactions, including internet hosting services, cloud-based or distributed computing and data storage, machine learning, predictive analysis, or predictive analytics and data science products. Yes. Yes, according to some Republicans, I think it was in the House of the U.S. or of Michigan, the Michigan House, the word vagina was considered vulgar, and they were talking about women's reproductive stuff. I think they were talking about the tampon tax, actually. And one member got kicked out, and so several women walked out on it. And then, what's her name? Eve Ensler? The woman that wrote the Vagina Monologues, she came to Michigan. They did a performance of the Vagina Monologues on the steps of the state capitol. We were there protesting, yelling and shouting vagina. Literally, I stood 2 feet from a state trooper and shouted vagina in his face, because they had, I think it was all men troopers there for the capitol. But whatever, it was great. It was empowering and it was nice. Yes, she is the governor of Michigan. So yeah, all hardwired and Wi-Fi is going to be under government control. But not just that, it's cloud storage, data storage. So our servers, iCloud, you store photos, like they automatically back up into your iCloud. Your phone literally should be set automatically to do a data update. My iPad doesn't update every time it's plugged in and I lock the screen. It backs up to the cloud. All of that will be available for the government to monitor. So you no longer have anything that is protected that is not handwritten down. Essentially anything digital is going to be the president, the government can see. They can monitor it. Using your Wi-Fi. It even says machine learning. So bots that are used, you click help and it's like you can chat with someone and you initially, I always assume I'm just completely chatting to a bot, but even that would be able to be monitored, which is weird. So yeah, managed services, content delivery services. So Amazon, all of it, and we got Amazon Prime, we have Apple TV, we have Hulu, all of that would be monitored. Handmaid's Tale for the entire nation. And here we go on to more. They can monitor internet or network-enabled sensors, webcams, endpoint surveillance or monitoring devices, modems, and home networking devices of greater than 1 million units have been sold to persons in the United States at any point during the year period preceding the date on which the covered transaction is referred to the Secretary for review, or the Secretary initiates review of the covered transaction. So literally, they can just say that this happened. You get hacked. Okay, I have a VPN. So yesterday, I don't have TikTok anymore. Well, my account's still there, but I don't use it. I don't have it downloaded. But my friend sent me, it is a TikTok video. And I clicked on it, thinking it's going to make me go download TikTok, which I was going to download it for a second to watch the video. No, it downloaded the TikTok video onto my phone. So that would have been considered a transaction. So then that triggers everything to be monitored in my house, because I watched a TikTok video. That makes me essentially a subversive person. But internet or network-enabled sensors, thermostats, light switches, plugs. You have webcams on your computers. I have a separate individual webcam. We all have them. They're on our phones. They're on our tablets. endpoint surveillance or monitoring devices, ring cams, any baby monitors that are connected to your Wi-Fi, all of that. Nanny cams that are connected to Wi-Fi, or if the data is stored somewhere like on a cloud server, or you store it on, like, I have an external hard drive. They can access it when I'm connected to the internet. They'd be allowed to monitor all of it. Why? Because my friend sent me a TikTok video and I watched it and it downloaded it to my system. And I'm on a VPN. So that makes me subversive. That makes me a danger. Okay? Oh. Go back. Sorry, I hit the screen. Unmanned vehicles, including drones and other aerial systems, autonomous or semi-autonomous, whatever, so unmanned vehicles, or any other product or service integral to the provision, maintenance, or management of such products or services. Your drones can be controlled by the government. So supposedly Domino's uses unmanned vehicles. They've been testing them. That would count. The autonomous or semi-autonomous vehicles, so your Tesla, like, you can put it on assisted driving. I don't know. My car's a 2012. I've been in and I've driven these vehicles. I've never used the technology, but like I've had it used where someone, like, they enable the autonomic driving thing, and it automatically brakes based on the distance of the car in front of you. The government can take control of that and monitor that. Monitor everything inside of your car, because your car is a smart car. Okay? Then the provision, maintenance, or management of such products or services. My husband works for a Ford dealership. He's parts manager, right? They absolutely work on these cars. So he uses his phone, because their internet is down, because we live sort of rural and internet's not always the greatest. But he uses that phone, his cell phone that we pay for personally, to look something up for a customer. Then his phone also now is able to be monitored. Not clouds are Wi-Fi, I guess. They're technically, they're not. They're servers. They still have server farms. Like, it's technical. I've had it explained to me. And here you go. Nope. This bill cannot pass. Yes. This is why I have a problem with it. So, yeah, they can watch me all they want. They would have to do a lot of bleaching of their eyeballs. They're probably going to realize that I am a very inappropriate person, and I'm also funny as hell. Trust me, I say stuff, and then I'm like 10 minutes later, I wish I was recording myself, because that would have been funny on the internet, because people would have watched it. Yeah. A BDS. Oh! The sad thing is those creepy old efforts would love it. Come on now. We know that happens. Hello, the Lolita Jet? Ring a bell? Trust me, they like that stuff. And yeah, security cameras will be turned against us. I am not a fan of this. Like I said, I do read a lot of dystopian fiction stuff, and like just 4 or 5 years ago reading, I'm like, oh, that would never happen. And it's happening. Yeah, and dear man, dirty man. I love it. Yes, it does depend on what they like. One of the things that my husband thinks I'm being hysterical about is unplugging all smart devices if we're not intentionally using it. So if we're not watching Like, and I'm talking like digital antenna. We don't pay for cable. We do have an antenna on the like on our house or whatever. We have antenna things, but they're all digital, so that could be monitored as much as they could monitor that. I don't know what they would get, but they could definitely use it as an back entry to kind of get into the computer or the TVs, and we have smart TVs, and that connects to our Wi-Fi. So therefore, that's literally they can use that to get into our network. I would be unplugging everything and putting everything in I would seriously build Faraday cages, and everything would be put into a Faraday cage so I could effing sleep if we're not using it when my husband and I are talking, because we talk about, my husband's a nerd too, he loves old historical stuff. I love old historical stuff. We have practice swords that we practice sword fighting with just because it's fun, but my husband doesn't like me talking about it, but we are very much so pro 2A in this household. And we do lots of research. Well, he does lots of research, and then he disseminates the information to me because I don't know what I'm looking at half the time. My brain can't compute. So, oh man. Are you trying to get me demonetized, Jeremy? I can't really see you because I can't afford to see you in Ireland. Everyone should try, yes. Everyone should probably try something at least once. They do have routers listed. So, the software designed or used primarily for connecting with and communicating via the internet, which is everything. Everything is, when you hit share, say I use Photoshop, right, to work on drawings, to do logos or whatever. And if I share that, hit share, and then I send it like an airdrop to my phone or whatever, that's communicating via the internet. In use by greater than 1 million persons in the United States. We literally would have to constantly be developing new software that wouldn't be considered just another version of yeah. It would be crazy, and then we'd have all these really weird. It would cause havoc. Honestly, it would. But we're talking about desktop applications, mobile apps, gaming apps, payment apps, so they can monitor your Venmo. Okay, monitor my PayPal. You're going to see that I pay for a lot of nail strips, and I buy lots of rocks, like crystals and rocks, because I'm a rock hound, okay? Web-based apps. So everything they'll be able to watch and monitor. Information and communication technology products and services integral to artificial intelligence and machine learning. That's everything. There is some sort of AI component to everything. Think about it. Facebook, if you make a report or whatever, you automatically get thrown in Facebook jail, and you request a review, and then you get that message back that they don't, due to COVID, they can't all look at all the requests. That's because all of that was monitored by AI bots. Okay, trust me, it's more prevalent. It's more prevalent than I think people realize, unfortunately. Quantum key distribution. Okay, I'm not even sure what the fuck a quantum key is, you guys. Sorry, my dog is barking. Quantum computing, I'm assuming that means a supercomputer. Post-quantum cryptography. So after supercomputing, so cryptography is like secret words. Then, yeah. Ugh. It's meant to use so people don't know what we're talking about. It's protected, so it's private, and they're going to be able to do it. Wait, what? They do not have Wi-Fi ones. Seriously? They connect to your freaking Wi-Fi? Oh, that. I'm a good girl. I'm a good girl. Autonomous systems, advanced robotics, biotechnology, synthetic biology, computational biology. So, biotechnology. They could monitor my spinal cord stimulator that I had implanted. Right? It sort of works off of a short Wi-Fi range. The remote, it's separate from. Do I have my remote in here? I don't think I brought the bag in, did I? They say bag, and the dogs are all like meat snacks. But I didn't bring it in here. I couldn't remember if I did. I didn't say we're fat girl eating right at the moment, but we're gonna have to soon, Fritz. So don't worry. I have a remote. It's a wireless remote for the generator battery pack for my spinal cord stimulator. It plugs into charge. It's that QI charging. Like I have the thing I put my phone on. It's not plugged in. It charges through the whatever they call it, key charging. It's the same way with the battery generator for my spinal cord stimulator. But guess what? I have to get my programs reprogrammed, like adjust them for whatever I need if they're not working, or if I like my back's hurting higher in the zone, I have to go and get new programs put in. Guess what? They have to be plugged into computers that deal with they have software on them. So they literally could monitor that. They could control that. I mean, I don't think that's necessarily Wi-Fi. That's just charging. You guys, so you get it. With your Medtronic pump, you get it. I have my G7, my CGM, that is on my phone, that uses an app that's Wi-Fi based, and it all my apps connect, so they can monitor like what I use apps to track my medication, to make sure like I'm not taking too much, so I know what I've taken when. And I do that because if something happens, the doctors need to know what I've taken. The doctors need to know what doses of medication I'm taking, because I have like 74 potential interactions with just the medications I take. And that's not including medications that I could be given in a hospital if I were in a car accident and needed major trauma surgery. This scares me. I was gonna say, when I first got, I think I did it when you have to do a trial first before they fully implant it. So you wear the controller outside, or the generator on the outside, but the wires go into your back, literally against your spinal cord, or your spinal cord. But one of the first things I did is and it might have been after I had it implanted, I turned whatever program is on, I turned it off, because I can turn it off and on. Then I slowly started turning it up all the way, and when you start jumping, it will actually like kind of give a burst. I literally went as high as I possibly could, and it gave my brain a jolt. I mean, it like kind of reset my brain for a second. The government would be able to do that. They would be able to control people's insulin pumps. It's bad enough that they're already trying to kill diabetics by not giving us access to the medication that we need. Yeah, I have not had a pain pump. I also only take Tylenol 3. After I had my spinal cord, my lumbar spine fused, when I woke up, I was like, they're like, you can have Oxycontin. I'm like, no. I'm like, Vicodin, Norco is the strongest I'll take. I literally had 5 milligrams of Norco for 8 hours. They wouldn't give me anything else. It was a fight with the hospital. So that's a whole nother story. And need to make a video about that for my other channel, which I do have a second channel, and as I talk about and advocate my personal stuff, my health stuff a lot more. That's Jess's Zebra Adventures. It's actually typed just Jess Zebra Adventures, because I can't do apostrophe S on an S, so it's just Jess with one S, Zebra Adventures. If Dearmid, okay. Dearmid, I can't put that on there. You're gonna get me in trouble. I already, like, my last live stream, the revenue was 16 cents, you guys. I don't make money from this, but you're gonna get me shut down. And no, we need to stop this subject that we're on. What, Fritz? What do you want, buddy? Is my sugar high? Sorry, Fritz is my service dog. He's for my diabetes. And he's pawing me. Do I need to eat? Dude, I'm at 146. I'm fine. I'm all right. He's telling me I'm too high. So you stop using your pain pump? I would get it removed, honestly. I would. Get it out of there. You don't need that. If you need an MRI, you could get one if they remove it. Okay, let's get back to this, because I said I was only going to be about an hour, and we're going on 2 hours and 15 minutes, and Fritz is getting restless. I said the magic word, and that was I was going to eat. So, yeah, the advanced robotics, that includes surgical robotics, just so you know, because that's all done through computers now. You can manually, but you control it you can do it from across the country. So they can control that, so they can kill people that way, or mess people up. Advanced robotics, which also is used in manufacturing, biotechnology, synthetic biology, computational biology, and e-commerce technology and services, including any electronic techniques for accomplishing business transactions, online retail, internet-enabled logistics, and internet-enabled payment technology, and online marketplaces. They want to control everything. Everything. That's literally everything, you guys. Online retailing and marketplaces, and that's everything that we do. Think about it. All of the supply chain. You think we have supply chain issues now? The government gets a hold of it. They want to starve one area of the country. Absolutely could do that when they control the logistics. That's complete control of the society. This is not okay. This is worse. The more I'm reading, it's worse. I mean, they can remove. You guys, this is bad. This is 1984 bad. Sorry. It's right there. Okay, the e-commerce. Yeah. I don't know. You guys, I want to go back to this has gotten really, really dark. Where is... Let me get this. I want to end on something crazy. I mean, it's not as dark. Let's see. Open. Mm-hmm. Where did it go? Hold on, I'm trying to find this craziness. Oh, that's where. I put it there. I put it in that playlist. No, that is still the wrong one. Hold on. What are we doing? Don't go there. You don't go there either. Oh, I thought I had this set up. Where'd it go? There we go. Okay, hang on. Let me get this up, ready to go. Oops. I wish I had the mouse. Let me get that screen sharing, you guys, so we can end this on a crazy note.
What?
So we were watching some 1A auditors here. They are in Monroe, Michigan. Currently recording in a restaurant, into the windows of a restaurant.
The people in the restaurant, you're making them
Huh?
a little uncomfortable.
Oh, that's okay.
Can I ask why we're recording my customers? Excuse me?
Why did you fart?
No, can I ask you
okay.
why you're
I have issues with
recording
this.
my customers?
Oh, my blood sugar's going back up.
I'm looking for demons.
Okay, could you do it somewhere else?
Did I find? I'm looking for demons.
You're making my customers uncomfortable. Could you do
Oh,
it somewhere else?
I think I found some uncomfortable demons.
Okay, can I ask you to do that somewhere else, please? I really don't want to have to call the authorities. Could you please do it somewhere else?
You're absolutely correct. It covers everything.
There goes the
I'm not
911
even sure
demon.
if I know who Chris Chan is,
I
honestly.
found the 911 demon too.
She called 911.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if they actually, these people
That
who
food
they
looked
are.
yummy.
He has almost 100,000 followers.
Look, he's gonna show me his food. Yeah, that looks good.
Oh gosh.
Yes, he's calling 911.
Tell him to bring cheese with your wine.
Can you ask him to bring me a Red Bull?
Yeah, I want a monster.
Yes, that's one of the issues that I have with them is they're purposely rude. Okay, they say they're about education, but if you're going to be a rude jerk, you're not actually educating them. Oh, we could cops to educate them. People ask them, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this?" And they ignore them, or they just call them names. Dummies from the beginning. I knew about a 2A audit. I had never heard of a 1A audit before I started really getting into lawsuit. Like, I heard the term, but even just as a viewer didn't know. I still don't know that much about it. I honestly think that Ironton Auditor, Terry, he does it, in my opinion, the right way. He will go and record, and that's absolutely, that's your right to do so. But he does not get in their faces. He does not, try and confuse people. These guys are crazy.
Hi. Did she take your picture?
Apparently, I need to reduce.
Did she take your picture?
You don't know me, Jeremy.
Did you find his demons and exercise them? That's what my camera does. It finds demons and exercises them.
Like this. How is this educational?
I could. 3JUK9.
Bingo. Bingo.
Cool.
But I told my husband that our next dog that we get, if she's female, her name has to be Aoife, just so you know, because I like it and I think it's great. So my next female dog is going to have an Irish name. Our next male is going to be Freddie Mercury, Freddie Mercury, because he's my spirit animal for real. I love Freddie Mercury. one of
Gorgeous
the
bank.
one of the other problems I have is that if they touch the camera to the
Yeah.
window, that's not filming
Oh,
it from
here
the
it comes.
sidewalk. That's touching
Here it
the
comes.
building.
One of the workers. Why did you fart?
See,
Can I ask why you're just filming the inside of the bank?
No, we're not inside the bank.
she said filming the inside, not
Yeah, exactly.
filming
We're not
inside.
the bank.
The inside of the bank.
You can't do that.
Absolutely, we can.
No, you can't. That's
Yes,
people's
we can.
privacy.
You're wrong.
No.
Would you like me to call
It's
the
privacy.
cops?
But
You can do whatever you need to, but you're wrong.
they're not going to do anything because they don't want to get
Why
into an
are
actual
you
confrontation with you.
Education of the people.
That's the thing. They brag about they got cops retrained. Well, yeah, they got them retrained so
Appreciate it.
to not confront and just agree with everything.
Oh, okay. You
So
call
that there
whoever you want
isn't a
to, really.
situation. That's what they're trying to do. Is they're trying to
No, they don't.
So, you know, if we were inside the bank, then you would be correct. But we're
You're
outside.
filming the inside out.
But
We're
we're
taking
doing it
pictures
from
of it.
outside.
Seriously?
Anything we can see in public, we can report.
You named your dogs here and there.
Have a nice day, man. Happy holidays.
I guess if
I'm not
I come to
talking to you
Ireland
no
and
more.
stay at Irish's Cottage, I will be coming
They
and
call the
renaming
cops
your
and get
dogs
educated.
Dearman, okay? I'll have to come up with some cool names.
That's
for
what they
them.
want to
Something
do.
right,
They
maybe.
call the cops and get educated.
I named the neighbors chickens because they'd always come in our yard.
He tell you he's number one?
Yeah, you did. I got 2 of them for you.
See, they're flipping people off. Like, how is that educational or productive?
Oh, wow.
I know, right?
Okay,
And they don't.
we're gonna go for it here. Oh, came back. Like, how is that funny? I don't see how that's funny.
She's melting down, dude. She's a
Not melting down. People don't want to be recorded. I don't want to be recorded. I'm on camera and I don't want to be recorded.
literally.
This part is actually cool.
Frenchies.
I want to go
Look
check
at that
this
Rolls
place out.
Royce, dude. There's Rolls Royce they got in here. Literally. Oh.
Cool.
You're the only one that talks to your dogs. I'll talk to your dogs. Psh, I'm not scared of your dogs. You're mad.
Come in and get a better shot of the car.
Hell yeah.
Come on in.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, take a look.
I seen it through the window. I was like, that thing's awesome.
Yeah, take a look.
Luna is
Oh
a
my-
rescue, so we named with that
No,
name.
but
Chris, I
that's
named.
awesome, dude. What year is it?
Dude, when we got him, when we adopted him, his name was
Nice. What's it worth?
Dante, and I didn't like
Roughly.
it.
Nobody's ever made the
I did
right
not know that it was
To
a
you,
very
what's it
stupid
worth?
name. Are you Dante?
Not bad.
It's not horrible. It's a 1930s.
Is that your name?
Rolls Royce.
And,
Your little
and it's on the
demon
right
dog?
side,
Yes.
dude. That's
Oh, yeah.
awesome, man. That is so clean.
Sorry, this is really cool. This car is really cool.
You got it, brother. You got
I
it.
want to kind of go to Monroe now.
Your first George store ever invited us in, man.
Where you guys you from around here?
Lansing.
If you watch my last live stream, I actually showed a video on that happened.
Oh, okay.
About
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, we're
I think it's
Well,
great.
that's
that-
smart
we're from
thing to
Michigan.
do.
We're actually,
can still show you, they just
all
can't do
over
the audio.
Michigan doing it. Same thing Amagansett Press does.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it.
Actually,
I
he,
actually
actually
got a call
he started doing cannabis dispensaries because we were.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I got a call from another store. There's a couple.
That other guy, like he's talking about Image whatever press. I saw one video of his.
As long as they're not beating you with the
And-
He was
and
in
that's
Frankenmuth
why
here in
we're out.
Michigan.
So everybody
Otherwise,
knows what you know,
and
and they don't freak out.
I don't know who these people are.
As long as they're out there on sidewalk, they can videotape you. She said, well, you
Last
can't
chance.
right up the
Okay.
glass. I said, whatever
I
you can
told
see,
you
right.
I will one day tell the story of
But
Luna
if I
on
didn't have a
here.
camera and I was
Shared
just
it on
looking
all
at
sorts of other different
most people wouldn't even bat an eye at me. They make, oh, it's just
Horrific.
window
You would
shopping.
cry.
So I just window
Um,
shop for thousands and thousands of
she's a
people around the world.
full-size
that would never
standard
get a chance to come
dash
here and see this.
About
badass
17
Rolls
pounds
Royce.
when I got her. She was a year and a half old. She was
I got
under
almost
11 pounds.
65,000. I'm frickin'
And I thought
Frickin' Media.
Frickin' Media.
FRICN stands
we
for
didn't
Framers
know
Rights
she
Independent
didn't
Citizen
have any
News.
fur because she was so covered in fleas.
FRICN. Yep. Freaking
And
media.
she was covered in open infected
Oh, I
wounds.
don't know. He's probably
She
out there
allergic to
having
flea
fun.
bites. So
He might
yeah,
be
I know. I
smoking
get
too. I don't
coming
know.
from horrible conditions. I rescued her from her
The
original
banks
owner.
they always
Her
freak
first owner.
out. And I'm like, why
From
would
a
you have
puppy
these
mill.
big windows with no blinds and you got your
Got her
computer
from a
screens
puppy mill.
facing the window so I can see everything on your computer? That's the problem.
Fritz was
You're
the guy
worried about me
from a puppy
violating
mill. We
somebody's
didn't
privacy.
know it
That's
though
your
at the
job.
time.
I mean, obviously, we put a car.
Right. You want somebody to look at this.
We want them to look in. We want them to come in.
Hell
It's real
yeah.
simple. So, yeah,
Not many jewelry stores have an actual car in their shop, man. That's
No,
awesome.
cool.
It's probably the first one you've seen.
I
It's a
like it. My
gorgeous
husband
shop
wanted
too, man. I
dash
love the copper
hounds, so that's what we
ceilings.
have. We have
That's
dash hounds.
awesome.
Although my next
That is
service
awesome.
dog I'm
Beautiful
getting is
shop,
going to be a
man.
big dog. I want a Belgian Malinois.
Oh
And I want
yeah.
a Melon Gator for a service dog.
Fire separation.
Gotcha.
I want a dog
Still
that
looks
people
awesome, man.
won't
This is a
reach
fabulous
for,
shop.
'cause-
Thank you.
If I ever need a wedding ring, I'll come here.
There you go.
One day, maybe I can afford my wife a new wedding ring.
Well, get a lot more views on YouTube. And
I'm trying, man, but you know, it
I
is what it
mean,
is.
I get ring envy
It's,
kind of
it,
crap.
you know, I come across,
Not an
well, in a lot of my
expensive ring.
videos, I come across as a jerk.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
like
Because
it.
somebody
People
comes
like it.
out and asks me what I'm doing in public. My
Whatever
first
that was.
reaction is, I'm minding my own business, leave me alone. But I'm like, I'm just taking
All right,
pictures.
I'm
and
knitting
that's
a
not enough
sock
for
for
them.
my
They want
sister that
more
was-
explanation. And I finally get frustrated with it. I'm like, man, I'm not explaining nothing to you. Call the cops if you want to. Let them tell you.
that I'm working on.
They said they called the cops over there at Monroe Bank and Trust. So
A Congo. Is that a Kango or Congo? Kango shepherd?
we just seen the chief.
I was gonna say, we have
Yeah.
a police for it.
Hold on, let me get out my notebook. I'm writing that one down.
He's a good, he knows what's going on.
Yeah, we just seen him over by the courthouse. We was over there walking around the courthouse and ran
Where's
into
everybody?
him. He introduced himself, shook our hands, and said, "Enjoy your visit."
I have my
Yeah, he does. Of course, he does.
pack of pens. Where did that come go, though?
Nice.
Here, he's done FBI training. He's a
Oh,
good
nice.
guy, so
Awesome.
He knows a lot.
It's important to have a good leader in the police.
He's great.
You
That's
monetize
awesome.
me for the song in the
All right, brother. Well, I'm gonna get
background.
out of here, man. I appreciate you
Because
letting me check out the car, man. It's getting a little warm in
all
here
the
for me.
money I can get from the
Sweet.
videos.
Yeah, check me out, brother. If anything, it's a good time, man. We have a laugh. We have a good time. We like to laugh, cut jokes, cut
I'm
loose.
disabled.
You know, sometimes it's at
Sorry,
other
guys.
people's expense, but you know, they earn it.
Like I said, hey, you.
I'm so sorry if you guys
You already
heard
knew
any
what
of
was
that.
that,
Oh
brother.
my god.
I told the girl.
I apologize. Welcome to my world.
They were all up in arms about it. Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to my world. This is my dealie.
If you just smile and wave,
Yeah.
we don't even hang around. But if you get stupid, we're gonna hang around and see what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, no, you can hang around here. You can.
Yeah,
put
man.
us on
Right?
YouTube,
Heck
get some
yeah. Well,
advertising.
advertise your business while we're here, brother.
Hey, Frenchie's Fine Jewelry, coins, downtown Monroe. Stop on in. Take a look at the car in the window like these guys are doing.
That's
I
right, man.
understand.
All right, guys, come down here and check him out, man. You have a great day, brother.
Just be nice. It doesn't cost. Kindness is free.
Awesome, dude.
Okay, I'm writing this down.
That's about just a sergeant now.
Yeah. Bail bonds.
Oh, that is why. That's
Oh, yeah, he's in there working.
you're
Oh.
why you're not a like H-E. I make sure I spell that right.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Can you read
He's eyeballing.
my chicken scratch? My doctor scratch?
Through his brow. Shaking his head no.
Yeah, shiny
I'm able to take the dog for walks. Oh,
piece of turtle wax. It's a little dull.
A little bit. It could definitely shine more.
I don't know if the bill's been vetoed. The Senate has a bill, and then the House has a separate,
Legal crooks, right?
very
there,
similar
Right?
bill.
I know it.
They're like they have very similar bills going at the same time, and I can't remember what the other one is called. Now this right here is why auditors need to stop. This situation. This is why this is a problem. Because this
It kind of looks like the guy that
Could have
started
been-
the Satanic Church. That's what I thought he looked like.
instigating.
Oh, yeah.
He's instigating.
Somebody in a hat sitting in there.
Getting her camera phone ready.
Oh, yeah, there's somebody in a hat sitting right there.
Should we keep it off?
She's getting her phone ready to do a cam back.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Or maybe she's just making a phone call.
Maybe.
Look, you can see her phone underneath the monitor.
Uh-huh.
It looks like she might be texting.
It's a nice Dodge right there. There's a good looking Dodge. 3/4 ton with a Cummins, baby.
So the bill was introduced on March 7th.
I knew I'd get it.
You need something?
No.
Then why are you filming this?
What's that?
If you click on the link
Filming what? I'm not
in my
filming.
banner,
Nobody uses film
it's there
anymore.
at
It's
the
all
bottom.
digital.
That
Huh?
takes you to the
You
Congress
go on.
website where you can reach
Bye.
out to your senators. You can call
Bye,
them,
Cupcake.
write them, email them, send them mail, paper mail, send them emails, send them text messages, call through your
Oh, yeah?
office, leave messages,
Oh, yeah? What are you doing?
and this is where it's bad.
Just fucking hands off me, dude.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
yeah,
You fucking touch me.
there you go. And that is exactly why.
Come on.
Give my phone back.
Come on.
Yes.
That's arm theft.
You know what? Not anymore.
That's arm theft right there.
You can go on audit cops and call them bad, call them piggies and bacon and everything else and berate them.
Ah.
You sure are quick to call them, though, when this happened. But this is what is dangerous about this auditing stuff. And it would be even scarier if it was someone that was doing a 2A audit. He maced the dude in the face. This is FAFO, and he found out. He found out, didn't he?
Hey, I need somebody at 12 West Front Street right away. Somebody was filming me, and when I went out there, he shot me right in the face with pepper spray.
You did pull a gun on him, dude. You pulled a gun.
No, 12 West Front. They're out there right now. They're out there right now.
Sorry, my internet is being slow right now. Because the government is watching me.
12 West Front.
Okay, well, it's echoing, so I can barely hear you.
Yep.
12 West Front.
Yep.
What is your name?
Daniel 4.
Daniel?
4.
You need medical attention?
No, I just need to get my eyes rinsed out quick.
Okay, what's your phone number, Daniel?
734-365-1097.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Last chance, I don't know if it's that easy because of the wording that is in the bill that it takes more than that. It's scary. And remember, you have to remember that Congress and stuff, this has got widespread approval in both the Senate and the House. You have to remember that. So it's not just Biden's out of office and it still goes away. It has widespread support by our elected officials. That's why I keep saying we need to scrap the current government and start over. Because what we have is broken and it is not working. And it is not helping the American people. Hidden in plain sight, buddy. In plain sight. But yeah, this is why these 1A auditors, frauditors, whatever you want to call them, for the most part, are very bad and dangerous. This could have easily become a lethal situation. And dude didn't care. Like, I mean, I back him on dealing with the Pressdale sheriff and that one detective. That was not good. But this, he brought this on himself, unfortunately. I don't know if he watches this. I'm just going to say it. You brought this on yourself, dude. Like, you have to understand that there are actions to every there are consequences to every action. And unfortunately, this is the consequence of this action for you. Oh, Jared, am I supposed to hide my my knitting or my spinning wheels or my floor loom so I can make textiles? Should I hide those toys? Those are the fun toys. I like those. Those are my sewing machines. I don't know. You say toys.
If they're disrupting your business, I will come and ask them to move. Other than that, they're not disrupting your business. They're not going to do that. That's not how they are.
No, we don't do that. We don't disrupt nobody's business. We don't
Except for when
really.
you
We try not to.
bump your camera against the window and pour it inside.
We'll be like,
Well, hang out a minute. See how uncomfortable I can make them.
You're laughing about it. He's laughing
Appreciate you,
about
man. Thanks so much, man.
uncomfortable. To the point that he got a weapon pulled on him.
Lord only knows what you can find.
This is the problem.
Just holler, right?
Cool, man. Appreciate you, brother. You have a good one, man.
Squeakies.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
of
it.
course. Have a good one.
Have a good one. Cool. Dude, I
heard that other. I was like, oh no.
Dude, I emptied like half that can on his face.
Oh, man, I saw it. His whole face is purple.
His whole face is purple. He smurfed the fuck up, dude. Son of a bitch.
That's gonna get demonetized.
The Constitution and federal case law protect all verbal insults of police. Numbnuts, bitch-ass tyrant, even Willy Wonka munchkin motherfucker. They are all allowed.
Okay. All right, guys. We're gonna stop there for today for this Thirsty Thursday. Yeah, the filming is legal harassing the people. And it's not this. He is aggressive. And he does treat people like crap. He calls them names. And he's like dummy or butthead or like he says all sorts of rude stuff to people. Like, why? And then he talks about, time to get an education. What he's doing is not educating anybody. He's making them call the police or making them feel like their only only option is call the police. So then the cops are then forced to waste either resources sending an officer out or the dispatcher or whatever, taking time to explain to these people what is going on. When if you're truly trying to advocate and educate, you would do so yourself and you wouldn't be hostile about it. But these guys instigate. Most of them love to instigate. They love to get the cops riled up. They love to get people riled up. Why? Because the videos get views. Am I being a little bit sleazy by using those videos? I guess, whatever. You can say what it is. But I want to expose these guys. You know, crack a bottle? I think I might go crack a bottle of wine. I was going to do it while recording, but things got a little crazy today and it didn't happen. Although I was like literally all set up and everything ready to go. By 1:15, I was in here at 1 o'clock, you guys. I did a lot better today. Still had insanity happen. But with that, still on the bottom here, scrolling on the bottom of the screen, is the link to contact your Congress if you guys are watching this in the future. I know this is a long video. I apologize, but we do cover the whole, well, not the whole bill, what I think are the most important aspects of it. The most problematic aspects of the Restrict Bill, or it's the Senate Bill 686, also known as the Restrict Act, which is essentially giving government control of everything inside our house that's digital, that's connected to the internet, that stores data. Little too broad of a stroke for me. I actually, you know what? I am going to go have a glass of wine now. I need that after this because I'm probably going to read more, so I may end up doing another video. If I do, it's probably just going to be recorded. I'm going to put in the description, because this is going to be obviously saved under the live feeds. I will put the link for the bill, for the link to contact your congressmen and your senators and your House of Representatives. I don't even know what they're called anymore. Your congressmen and senators, I think, are the right words. I don't know. Maybe they're the same people. I don't remember, and my brain is fried. I will be back same time next week, 1:15 or 13:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so New York time. on Thursdays for Thirsty Thursday. Hopefully I can find some more fun clips. Or we can talk about anything that has to do with law and crime, and it pertains to Michigan or has a Michigan connection. That includes possibly looking at cold cases or serial killers. With that, I am getting a phone call from an unknown number. It might be a doctor's office. I don't know. But I gotta take that. So thank you for joining me, Chima Gwitch, and I will see you guys next week. See ya!